Hi everyone, Aiden here at the etrailer. Today on our 2023 Jayco Alante Motorhome, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how the etrailer bumper mounted cargo carrier fits. Now there's going to be a couple different size options here. The one we have installed today is the 24 by 64 inch version, but you can also get it in 24 by 84 if you want something longer, or 24 by 60 or 24 by 40 if you want a smaller version. Now personally, I think this is the ideal size for your motorhome though, because as it sits right now, we're not going to be blocking our license plate, only a little bit on the edge, but nothing too crazy. We're not interfering with our ladder over on the other side. And like we'll see later, this is a folding cargo carrier. So when it's empty like this, we can fold it up against the motorhome for easy storage. Whenever we do that, it's not going to make contact and it's not going to interfere with anything up here anyway. So this one is really maximizing the space on this square bumper when you have it attached. The carrier itself is going to have a 500-pound weight capacity, which is more than capable for generators, coolers, and other bulky items that you might not want to keep inside of your motorhome. Just make sure that you aren't exceeding the rating of the bumper on your motorhome either, because you do want to go by the lowest rated component there. It's constructed of a black powder coat steel, which is going to be very strong and durable. If you wrap any ratchet straps on here or hook them, it's not going to warp or bend these thick tubes. And the powder coat's going to help it resist rust and corrosion over time. I will say it's not rust proof, and this one that we've had down in the shop for a while is showing signs of age with some rust and corrosion in certain spots. So just know that it's not going to be perfect, but it will help. Now, aside from the actual usable storage space dimensions, we do want to check out how much it's going to be adding to the back of our motorhome, because it does stick out a fair bit. I'm going to be measuring from the bumper, because that is our furthest out point, and from the bumper to the very end of the rack is going to be 26 inches on the dot. So it's only adding a little over 2 feet. It's probably not much that you'll be able to notice, and it doesn't stick out too far. But like I mentioned, whenever it's unloaded, it does have the ability to fold up. So let's say we get to our destination, we pull into the campsite, everything's unloaded, and we want to save some space. We can do that. At the bottom of each attachment point, there's going to be a pin and retaining clip that can be pulled out for each of those locations to free this up and allow it to fold. Now, these aren't always the most smooth moving. I've found that in this position right here, they're really easy to put in and take out, but sometimes when you fold it up, they get bound up a little bit. But just put a little bit of pressure upward on the carrier, and you should be able to get them removed or attached just fine. Once those all are removed, it'll just fold upright. It is an 84-pound carrier, so it is a little bit heavy, but not too bad. And you can see here what I'm talking about with the really perfect fit on this motorhome. It clears the ladder just fine, which for a lot of other motorhomes, you really can't say the same thing. There's plenty of room on the side, and then same over by our license plate. These pins and clips will then go on the inside of the carrier and lock up at all 3 locations up top on top of the bumper. In this position, we're obviously going to be saving a lot of space. From that same point on the bumper, it's only going to be sticking out 6 3/4 of an inch now. So it really saves a ton of room. Even if you want to leave it installed on the bumper for a trip and we maybe just don't need the cargo carrier space, but you don't want to remove it, it's not going to be sticking out too far. As for the closest point, you're going to have just a little under 3 inches of space from the body of your motorhome to the carrier when it's folded up. So it should be more than enough room. There's not too much shake or play here, so I think it'll be just fine. As far as the installation goes, you just drop it over top of the bumper and run these bolts with nuts on the other side underneath through the pre-slotted holes. It's a perfect fit around our bumper today. Tighten them down, and you've got a good strong fit on the bumper there with no room for movement. So the installation process is very simple. And overall, I think it's going to be a really solid fit. Functionally, as a carrier, it's going to be really great because of that high weight capacity and large size. So if you've got something like a generator that you don't want to bring inside your motorhome, whether it doesn't fit, or you just don't want that smell or any leaking liquids inside, you can keep it all out here where it's going to be easy to clean and it won't get inside. The other thing to think about is just the size options. I think with this one, this is the perfect size option for this motorhome. You might consider going for a smaller size if you have other accessories like a spare tire back here, But I think for the most part, this is going to be the way to go for your Jayco Alante Motorhome. Thanks for watching.